Hey everyone, if you are watching on YouTube or Facebook, go to Rumble. Rumble is the place that allows all of the free speech, as far as I can tell. If you prefer not to join Rumble, you're more than welcome to stay watching us on YouTube, as long as you possibly can. However, I would prefer you come join us on Rumble. It's a little more user-friendly, as far as on our end goes, and they're, like I said, they have rules and policies just like YouTube. However, they seem to kind of appreciate some free speech on their actual platform.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is episode 50 of The Weekly Show, all the week's hottest topics with the twist. With me, as always, is Ryan. And yeah, it is July 4th. It is a great day.
Yeah, happy birthday, America.
That's an American. Are you drinking an American beverage?
Imported in America.
You son of a bitch.
I don't drink American beer other than Sam Adams. And
what better
Heineken
day to drink a Sam Adams than today?
yeah, maybe I should stop and get a tall boy of Sam Adams for my local legal fireworks. Even though people always blow fireworks off, it's weird they let me just illegally commit felonies certain days of the month with controlled explosives, but whatever.
Pennsylvania's kind of weird with their fireworks laws too. I think they've eased up a little.
Weird.
Well, Pennsylvania is weird. They've finally allowed people to buy beer in places other than.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Pennsylvania is very, very weird with certain things. But what are you gonna do? Being that it is America's birthday, we both want to celebrate America's birthday to the fullest. So we're gonna get through our show, but we're not gonna shortchange anybody. It's gonna be a good show. Make sure you hang in there. And again, go to Rumble.
It should be better.
Go to Rumble, like, comment, and subscribe. If you're on YouTube, just like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna jump off with a headline that I'm sure you are not going to be a huge fan of. Headlines! The MakeAWish Foundation will only grant wishes to terminally ill children who are fully vaccinated. I had to fact check that. That is actually true. If you're terminally ill, are you super concerned about COVID?
I think the people that shouldn't get vaccinated, like the people on death's door, they're like, hey, we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe the solution is to stick the kids that don't have the vaccine in a place that people have COVID so that they can just get it through natural immunity, right?
But really,
like the governor did.
But I'm sure MakeAWish doesn't want other people to get sick with COVID, so especially with the Delta variant out. So they got to make sure that these terminally ill children are getting vaccinated.
You can't even vaccinate children to begin with, can you? 12 and over.
Well,
it's even proved from. So, kid like on, down at Ochai Children's Hospital. My problem with cancer is the shit has now become like, it's not even fundraising. It's like corporate profit. They're like corporatizing cancer research and development and raising money through it. They use sports teams. They use races. They use everywhere you go. There's Buffalo Cancer Institute on all of the fundraiser boards, which is great that we're spreading awareness. I agree. But at some point, this kind of is a little reminiscent of when those support the troop magnets only went to the company that made the magnet, not to support the troops. Maybe like a couple pennies out of your purchase. So like I'm not necessarily saying it's nefarious, but it is. I mean, in that day and age when they craft culture from a telephone screen, I mean, I feel like they throw it in our face. And then on top of it, some children can't even get a vaccine based on the CDC guidelines. They can't get a fucking wish granted.
Yeah, and I guess as far as to your point, it kind of probably depends on the organization, and there's places you can go to find out how much of their donations actually go to the research that it's supposed to be going to in the first place. Brian, we've been constantly told that YouTube is a bad place for science. You shouldn't get your science from YouTube. You should get it from scientists. Headlines: YouTuber wins $10,000 bet with physicist. He bet He bet that he could make a wind-powered car that would go faster than the wind that was propelling it, and the laws of physics would tell you that that is not possible. However, guess what? He went faster than the breeze. He basically mounted a big windmill on top of like an old Indy car. It's pretty wild looking.
Wow, I gotta check that out. That's incredible. So not only was he right, but the dude like birthed like basically like when they had to make quantum physics to make things make sense because regular physics stopped working on certain things. I don't know which those are, but yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah.
Not to mention trust the science. Then they suppress. What if they suppress that guy's speech and he was never able to even? The guy like literally discovered something.
Yeah, I'm
for
surprised.
all of humanity.
I'm surprised YouTube allowed that to happen because most physics is it's pretty settled science, I would think.
Yeah, so it shows that they're fine with free speech in very cut and clear lines. It's weird. It's like this is okay, even though it's going against science. They let flat earthers talk all day long, but I have to trust the science. They don't demonetize flat earthers.
But really, this is the point, though, which is science is never settled. I mean,
Yeah.
very rarely, I would say. But the entire point of science is to have. I mean, scientific theory is to have a theory and try and debunk it until you can't debunk it anymore. And I don't know when we got on board with this ego of science, where science is always correct no matter what. This just goes to show that sometimes we need to let the scientific theory happen. Basically, let science happen.
Dave, I'm so glad you said that because I'm going to piggyback. This is a crazy thing I found out recently. But back to the ego thing, it's true. Like, we have the ego to think that all of us driving our car is destroying the earth at a level of, like, raising the temperature of the globe. Because we dump CO2 is what plants need to grow. Isn't
Yes.
that we exhale?
Not only that, it's what they need to create oxygen.
Yeah, for me to breathe.
It's cyclical. It's symbiotic. It matters.
Yeah, and they say, like, we're going to tax carbon. Well, humans are made from carbon, so where do we draw the line? But to your whole ego thing, in a weird way, I was looking up dinosaurs the other day, and I was like, it was, what's the common theory of dinosaurs, right? Is the asteroid myth, right?
That's the biggest one, I think.
Yeah, it's a myth because we weren't here for it, but we so suddenly believe it, but God isn't real. Anyways, so it's an asteroid, as everybody knows, right? And asteroids are big. They fucking are all out there, and somehow when our universe and everything was aligned and whatever, bang, killed the dinosaurs. I looked up the power of what that was to destroy all of the life on the globe, right? Because I read it was causing climate change and volcanic activity and fucking, boil the water. You hear all these crazy signs because obviously we've never witnessed this. We wouldn't know, but we could tell like this thing cruising through space is going to get this. But anyways, whatever trench it is, it's like 7 miles long, right? When the asteroid hit there, basically it left a crater 7 miles long. And I was like, God damn, that's huge, right? 7-mile crater. It's like how powerful is that in atomic missiles? And I typed it in, David. Now, obviously, we've never seen this, can't really measure it, but we do have a formula. And somebody estimated that it was between 20 million and 1 trillion atomic warheads.
Whoa. To make a 7-mile crater?
Yeah. Dude, 1 trillion warheads? Bro, 1 trillion atomic missiles. Think of that. You can't. We can't even. I can't even.
I can't. No, that's such a massive.
Dude, even like the low number was like 20 million. 20 million warheads, 20 million atomic missiles. So then I got curious. How many atomic missiles were there? Really, they had like 50,000. But do you remember propaganda from people? We could blow every inch of the globe up with all the nuclear warheads we have. We could destroy the Earth. No, you wouldn't.
We couldn't even take out the dinosaurs.
Dude, the fucking thing only left a 7-mile crater. How many miles is the globe?
Many.
And you're gonna tell me to trust the science that me driving my car is killing the Earth. But it only left a 7-mile crater to kill everything. You put it on the news every day that polar bears are dying. Donate to this bullshit charity to pay for them. We're melting. Oh my God, watch a lake disappear. Yeah, it's fucking summer in Antarctica. Why do you think shit's melting? You know how I know that? It's summer in fucking North America. I wonder how big it's gonna get during the summer when it gets cold again. Dude, are we changing the shift with me driving the car? It took 1 trillion atomic missiles to fucking kill the dinosaurs and 95% of life. This is the common agreed thing in science. Trust the science. 1 trillion atomic missiles, bro.
That's a number that we really can't imagine.
I remember my history teacher told me a thing what a billion was, right? He's like a billion seconds is 50 years. Like 50 is 50 years. 1 billion.
Just to give you an idea of how much a billion is.
Yeah, and he said that the United States Congress just spent like 10 times that. It was a political thing at the end of it, but it was like when they were bailing out the economy, 2008 and 9. You know, that's when I graduated high school. Was the Great Recession.
There was a thing like that about Jeff Bezos' wealth, to put it in perspective, and I don't remember the exact specifics of it, but it's like. Man, I wish I remember the exact amount. It was like if Jeff Bezos, if you made, it was like $5,000 a day from like the time Columbus arrived to now, you would still not have as much money as Jeff Bezos.
I saw one thing that it's like you're closer to a millionaire than Jeff Bezos is. Like, God damn, like there was always the thing about Bill Gates is worth more money. If he sees $100 bill, which is our largest monetary printed dollar, on the ground, if he were to bend over and take the 5 seconds to pick it up, he actually loses money, you know? This is ridiculous. Did you look up the trillion atomic warheads?
No.
Oh,
no.
I thought that's what you were typing.
No, I was looking up something that I wanted. Yeah, I looked up something I wanted to try to find a video of. It was Jen Psaki and Peter Ducci. They were talking about. Did you see the clip about the anonymous sources?
No. Oh, they called them out on that?
No, so is this it?
She said people familiar with anonymous source. Is that the new one? What is isn't anonymous fucking remember 5th of November?
Here,
Why
we're gonna
can't
try
I
this.
think of V for Vendetta?
Yeah.
Fox. Why anonymous? That's trademarked.
All right, I'm good.
They're using they're using their ponies, man. It's crazy.
I'm gonna try this here. Let me know if you see this well. We're gonna see if we can.
Hi, neighbor. Oh, screen on screen. We're getting sophisticated here. December 17th,
getting fancy.
December Nation, shout out to Dave. Doing a great job, man. Great job. Fantastic work. Yeah, I see all this. Follow on Rumble and YouTube for the video feed. We will soon be on audio on all platforms. We're getting there, people. But
can you hear it?
No, I can't hear anything, but what she's saying right now, basically. So the clip I did see was about cheaper hot dogs. So I'm glad the country's heading in the right direction.
So they were talking about the quote abusive. The vice president is in this. Apparently, it's a bad morale and whatever. There's no communication in the Biden-Harris administration and whatever else. And it came from believe it or not, an anonymous source.
Oh.
And she was asked, and she's like, "Well, we don't put much credit into anonymous sources." Oh, you don't? Fascinating.
You did for 6 years.
Yeah. No. Apparently now.
You did for 6 years on national television every day.
No, people familiar with the matter doesn't qualify now.
How long have we make jokes? This is like half the podcast, at least. at least half the podcast. We've. God damn it! They took my point again. Come on. No, I can't believe anybody didn't press her about that. Anonymous sources, probably somebody in the fucking room.
You can't see my screen. It's back to normal, right?
Yeah, we're just us two.
I thought so. Okay. So getting into the next thing here. Headlines. Professors, this is a group of professors, say that proper grammar is racist and perpetuates whiteness.
I'd love to know how that's possible.
I'd like to know how that's not a racist statement in itself. Basically saying that black people do not use proper grammar. That's
How is that?
how do you even get away with saying that?
Because he has skin tone, right? He's skin toned. He's tinted.
Yeah, I don't know how you can
They
get
call
away with
themselves
saying
colored.
that.
Sure. They say we're people of color. Okay, fine. I don't care what you call yourself. I call myself Ryan, but let's move forward. Did you notice the gay flag change? That was something else that blew my mind lately. Like,
what?
yeah, we just change flags now whenever the fuck we want. We just add stripes.
What do you mean? How's it different?
It's got the little pyramid on the side.
What?
Yeah, bro. It's not just Roy G. Biv anymore. They had it. There's black and brown in there.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude. One of my neighbors got it. Shout out to whatever weird the new
What
queer
is
flag
this thing?
Yeah, see, look at this. We just change flags whenever we fucking want now.
This thing right here.
Yeah, it's like it's your regular yeah. I think the black thing is like trans, and then there's which I don't understand why there's the rainbow, whatever. Maybe I'm uncultured with the homosexuals, but yeah, this is crazy. They got like immigrants in there, one of them or something.
There's immigrants.
Yeah, I think so. Look it up. I think the brown one's the immigrant stripe. Migrant, sorry, immigrants racist too. So because people don't speak English correctly, it's racist.
What do the colors of the new pride flag mean?
The reason this is an attack on culture. This is why they've always said it's a culture, because they're redefining culture, and they always say that culture is a social construct. Social is actually it's crazy. Biology and culture work together to make culture and biology. Like they work hand in hand off each other with evolution, and then they're gonna all they do is influence you. They can't re-engineer society, so they have to influence you to pick things. And I'm not saying the gay flag is influencing people, but I am saying these is one of those goalposts they continuously move while telling us other things. And on top of it, they're saying English is racist and all these. They're trying to attack the fundamental thing about Western governments, in particular America. An American government is based in Latin, everything else, and Latin is the cultivation of thousands of years of large spans of people. This is something I'm not hearing. Latin encompassed thousands and probably millions of, like Alexander the Great. That was a Greek emperor, conqueror, and he spoke Greek, which is the fundamentals of Latin and the end of it. It morphed over time. Words like barbecue are Native American words, Cayuga, Tonawanda, all in my local area, your area, Allegheny, like Onondaga. These aren't English words, but we're able to adopt them because Latin has allowed for a melting pot of languages and cultures. And this is why they always demonize America in particular.
Well, that sounds like cultural appropriation.
Yes, and that's why they say those terms. They create adjectives to make you feel things about nouns. And they're telling you to feel this certain way about stuff, about our fundamentals. This is the day this country was birthed, man. Like, today was the idea that they said, you know what, go fuck yourself. And when they wrote the sign, they became felons and treasonous people when they signed the Declaration of Independence. And we're all just going to forget about it. And they attack our culture every day. They have a culture war every day. They burn cities down all across America for years, caused billions of dollars in property damage and death and untold amount of pain and suffering. And then they say one day that literally is a tenth of it. We'll say it's much more symbolic. Apparently, it's this one thing. We've seen you hijack narratives all summer. I want on America's birthday. No, these people are attacking your culture. I hope people realize that. Everybody's culture.
Did you see that there was a prediction in 1953 about Elon Musk?
Oh, that's weird. What did it say?
Headlines. In 1953, a scientist predicted a man titled Elon would lead humans to Mars and crown himself the Martian Emperor.
That's weird.
That's a very weird, specific thing that is actually happening.
It's so crazy because the beginning of it sounded great. In the end, it sounds like he's in a cult now.
He is going to be the Martian Emperor. Let's be clear. I think it's pretty obvious.
The guy already butt fucked Mars with a fucking rover. There's Tesla tech in that shit. You damn well know it.
I saw another thing too.
There's a reason they're going to space, man. Bezos is going up there, and Richard Branson, is that his name? He's the guy that owns Virgin, I think.
Yeah.
He's blessed. It's so funny to watch billionaires compete at who's going to leave the ground first. Because, Elon didn't go in his own rocket. You know, like, it's this battle of...
no, Elon's smart.
The ego of Elon, man. I don't know, honestly, like, I think he gets a huge bump with the Rogan thing for people our generation, like the average dude, man. Like, I don't know, man. I think we should be... I'm thinking a lot of Batman versus Superman right now. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know if it's necessarily nefarious that all these billionaires are going up into space. The only reason I say that is because if I had the resources, I would probably launch myself into space too.
Well, what the fuck else do you do when you can buy every Bugatti and bang every chick because you have, all the things? Like, you can get any woman, any property, any item. You can do anything on any place on Earth. You have every door open to you. You have unlimited freedom, basically, as far as you work for yourself, and you can set up your life any way you want, rearrange it, and all. Like, these people live fantastic. They say, like, even the average American, if you get around $100,000, like 90 and higher, like, money is almost like, what? Like, you're like, what do I do now? And that's why they go to freaking Japan and climb a mountain or do these, like, crazy, like, because it's like they're still searching for fulfillment, especially men, because women feel fulfillment differently, people. But, that's why guys are always buying cars and, like, blasting themselves into space and building Iron Man suits like Elon Musk is. Like, these guys are trying to, like, they're trying to conquer things. Like, if your bucket list, as an average man, is to cut the grass before you go to bed, what the hell's a guy that doesn't even have to worry about the grass, Like,
well, there's got to be a weird ingrained DNA biological thing that goes on with this. Because if you look at all the old time emperors and conquerors and everything, they were all men just taking over large sums of land for really no reason. I mean, Genghis Khan,
because they want to.
They just wanted to. Genghis Khan didn't need all that land. He just wanted to have it.
Yeah, these men, I mean, what's crazy is, speaking of that, those very guys, like, there's a reason there's a list of, like, greatest conquerors. I looked it up. Like, Alexander the Great is called Alexander the Great. When do they cancel him? He really did phenomenal things as far as melting culture together. And on top of it, when we lived in such a place that was untouched, my father and I were actually talking about this the other day. He said when the colonists came here, the trees were 5 to 6 feet across. You could get to one edge of America to the other without touching the ground because you could climb over trees. North America was untouched for thousands and thousands of years of human civilization. Everything's been done over in the old country, in the old West, and then in all of the East. So, like, just the idea of thinking these guys continuously devouring each other as, like, literally, once again, biology, history, and culture have shaped each other. Like, we evolved around culture and history, and we were shaped by all this. It's like a pyramid,
Yeah.
It's crazy that, but 100%, Dave, those guys conquered because they're like, I want to do this. Alexander the Great was raised, pretty sure, by Herodotus, which was a philosopher taught from, some of the earliest philosophers in Greece and stuff. He had access to most things. His father died at a very young age, and then he took over kingdom, and then, early 30s, mid 30s, he died in the height of his conquest. It's crazy.
So yeah, now it's not about conquering land on Earth because that seems mostly settled out. Let's go conquer some space, right?
Yeah, we're just gonna invade foreign countries. I saw a headline the other day that talked about how they think we're gonna have to fight on the moon. The Space Force will have to fight China on the moon.
Why? We'll just fight them in China.
Yeah, I don't know why. Why do we gotta blast shit up there when we could just drive over there?
Just hit them with 20 million atomic warheads.
Yeah, just sling an asteroid equivalent. Dude, they really thought we could. So anybody that says we can destroy the Earth, it's a lie. The thing that killed everything once before. How many times does this happen? And in world civilization, the Earth's history, has an asteroid taken out life on here, died because it didn't have an atmosphere. Like, give me a break. The ego of man. A trillion atomic warheads left a 7-mile hole. All right, the Earth's still here, people. Like, we're not. I don't think we can kill it, dude. Like, cutting down trees is a bad thing, but they say there's the most trees there's ever been.
Well,
And
yeah.
Steve said he was going to plant a trillion or a billion trees or some crazy shit. A billion trees.
Believe it or not,
a
lot of like the deforestation and everything, a lot of places that cut down trees, when they cut down a tree, they plant another one, because if your business is gathering resources from the wood and all that, if you just cut it down and leave it bare, then you have no more resources.
Yeah, it's amazing to think that we're actually cultivating trees to build houses with for the size of the population, and we could probably grow it on a couple acres of land. Like, these big businesses probably actually they have a reason, the resources, and an opportunity to actually cultivate trees. So we're not cutting down trees in the woods. We can just have grass and trees. And like, this is but they want to attack your culture, people. They want to hijack your culture and tell you what's right and what's wrong. English is racist because black people don't speak. They openly put racist shit in there. I can't even say anything because I have pale skin. It's crazy. But I'm a race, right? They say we're a race. I'm actually multiple things. Yeah. I'm from multiple areas of Europe. I'm not even like one thing. I'm not. We're not just like, we sell ourselves short.
Did you see? Do you remember Carlos Mencia?
Mencia, yeah.
Yeah, he was the relatively unfunny comedian that was wildly popular for like a couple of years.
Yeah.
Did you see he went after Joe Rogan?
Oh, go figure.
So, for people who don't know the backstory to this, Joe Rogan called out Carlos Mencia publicly in the middle of a set for stealing people's jokes.
Mencia.
And he had other comedians with him at the time who were vouching and saying, like, yeah, you stole my stuff. And they publicly called him out in the middle of the set. And his career crashed. I mean, because obviously he wasn't making his own jokes. So, like, you know, for what it's worth, that's just a big no-no in the stand-up community. Headlines: Joe Rogan, a cancel culture critic, as they call it, called out by Carlos Mencia for canceling. Is
that what the fuck? Are you serious?
So
cancel culture's not real, and then they literally list. Do you remember hearing that? Oh, this doesn't exist. This isn't a real thing. It's applicable when applicable. That's so crazy.
Well, let's be clear too. There's a huge difference in this cancel culture and cancel culture that we know of, and Carlos Mencia not being funny to people and people not wanting to see him after he acknowledged that he was stealing jokes.
I didn't mean to.
That's not cancel culture. That's people don't want to see you because you're not funny and you steal jokes.
Yeah, that's people who are getting held accountable and can't handle it. So Manstelia is saying that we should cancel Rogan, or is calling him out, or
no? He's basically just saying Rogan's a hypocrite for going against cancel culture because he canceled Carlos Mencia, which
by telling the truth.
Right, but that's my point. Is that's not cancel culture. Cancel culture is you say something like, I don't know, a group of doctors say something, and the CDC and the WHO don't agree with it, so YouTube shuts the video down and kicks the people off YouTube, which is a real story. That's a real thing that happened. That's cancel culture. This is people don't want to see you because you steal jokes. That's a very, very different thing.
Sucks to suck, dude.
It sucks to suck, Mencia. Did you see the flying car?
No, I saw a Tesla catch on fire, though, while the guy was trapped inside. Yeah, he was trapped inside. He had to break out of the car, which I don't know what that means. But he had to break out of the car, and the car, wouldn't unlock, and then he climbed out, and things started on fire.
Yeah, that's right.
It melted, for the record, it melted the entire car.
Yeah, because we've talked about this. They burn for hours and hours and hours.
Dude, like, it it looked like you just took a hot weight, put it in the middle of the car, and it like melted it in half. Like, everything was like just seat to the middle, and like the hood was just, everything was trash. I can't imagine the carbon emissions.
No, I'm sure burning. None. Yeah, none. So this flying car it's a real thing. It's kind of ridiculous looking. The car itself doesn't look too bad, but then it's got these crazy like fold-out wings and stuff. It takes a couple minutes to turn in from a car to a plane, but it completed a 35-minute long flight in the air, which is pretty decent. Yeah, I mean that's it's not a very long distance, but it's Jersey to New York City. It's it's a relatively decent amount of flight.
It's no Wright brothers, but it will do.
Regardless, though, I'm sure this will not be allowed to be owned by public anytime soon. So don't get too excited. And
Yeah,
Tesla,
like
speaking of cars that start on fire, Tesla has a levitating car. I think it's the new Roadster.
How the fuck does it levitate?
It has like little jets that pop out. Not jets, but yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Bro, tell me they don't have a tire that lasts forever, but I gotta levitate the car.
They don't have a tire that lasts. That
They
naturally
certainly
wears.
do.
No, forever. Come on.
Look it up. Look it up.
So.
I don't think so, but we got levitating cars.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is they said this shit in the 50s. I feel like our grandparents all of a sudden this weird like thought. Right
So,
it's so fun.
To be clear, it's not like
look
technology.
at the future.
Well, here's the thing though. It's not like technology couldn't have made a flying car. I mean, they've made them already. But it's
you're saying they have UFOs, David.
No, what I'm saying is we're not allowed to own them because of regulation.
Yeah, it's not a. If there was only an amendment in the Constitution for the right to flying cars,
they would violate it.
A well-regulated militia must be armed with at least 2 flying cars per household.
This next one shouldn't be much of a surprise here. I mean, I think everyone saw this coming. We knew that the author of the crime bill would be somebody who would support something like this. Headlines. Biden aims to bolster the police departments as homicide rates increase.
What do you mean bolster? The fuck
fund them.
Dude, I would, let's speak of morale just generally here in America, right? Like, how in the... You're going to just summon up courage in your men all of a sudden. Talked about how they were trash for a year and a half, and now you're going to be like, oh, we'll just give you your funding back. I'm sure the people they're going to hire are going to be real friendly police officers.
This should just be social workers, Ryan, because everybody knows. Yeah, all of them. Everyone knows when you're being raped or stabbed, what you want is a good social worker on the other line.
Could you imagine? Like, ask him about his childhood.
It said it wasn't good.
He's got better.
He just stabbed me.
I hate my fucking mother. I hate my mother. Most of those guys do have social problems with their mother. That's why they rape and kill women.
When you're getting stabbed, what you want is that guy who just fires accurately, mind you. You want that. You don't want
when they come in, when they come in to ice your entire school system, honey, just go in there and tell them, look, I'm your friend. I'm here to help you. That actually worked recently. A woman walked up and felt like an angel. It's a beautiful story. And a tragic twist of fate. Now I have a 1% chance of things working.
There you go.
I don't know. Dude, it's crazy. You don't know. So he's trying to bolster police academies again, huh?
Yeah,
but they supported the other guy.
Well, yes.
Like all of them.
But maybe you can win them over this time around.
How?
By bolstering their police force.
All right. We'll see, Joe Biden. I don't believe you. Yeah, I don't believe
him. What if I told you Biden historically was very, very pro-police, and just for a small window of time he was anti-police, when it was weird. Very convenient and politically expedient.
Well, the press secretary said that the GOP were the ones that actually encouraged the defunding of police because they didn't want to spend more money. Yeah.
Where did she get that from? Was it an anonymous source?
Sounds like it.
Was it people familiar with the matter? I hate these people.
I don't know. We paid this woman to say this shit to you. Do you realize that? Like, I actually pay her. When she lies to you, it's like this. You know how like people hate their boss? Like, you're the boss.
Are you taking responsibility for Jen Psaki?
Yeah, she's a dumb bitch.
She does kind of sound like you. Like, the name is familiar. It's very similar.
Oh man.
Is she related?
Maybe not. I mean, I'd stop over there if her husband wasn't around. What? Yeah, full transparency, ladies and gentlemen. You get a comedy show and the political commentary all in one evening here, December 1773.
No jokes have been stolen.
No, I actually make all these up right away, which is even better, so I can't even say I stole them. But yeah, I'd stop over there if her husband wasn't home. Is she even married, or she believes in the weird new flag that we have all of a sudden flying? Could you imagine if they were to just start chalking stars up on the fucking American flag every other week?
Oh, they want to chalk at least one more up.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, we pay for these people to lie to us. Did you see the exchange between Jen Psaki and one of the reporters about they released a tweet? I seen the photograph of hot dogs and the cost of barbecues being 16 cents cheaper than it was this time last year.
Yeah, so I didn't know where that stemmed from, but I have seen a lot of pictures about that.
Dude, it was a real exchange talked about in the very we pay for this.
She was really excited to bust that line out, wasn't she?
Dude, I know why she has that job, dude. I pay her to lie to me. 16 cents. Last year, I couldn't even have a fucking 4th of July party.
All right, let's
breaking the law and killing people's grandparents. And now you're beating your chest because what? The economy fell out, the dollar devalued 5%, the cost of everything else is super expensive. It's weird. The shitty hot dog, the shitty soda pop, and the shitty bun I put it in with the crappy condiments filled with high fructose corn syrup is 16 cents cheaper. It's like you can almost keep all the chemical foods that you feed me at a certain price and all the real healthy stuff at whatever fucking price you want to craft up so that it costs more to eat healthy.
Okay, I almost want to do the math on this, because if the hot dogs are 16 cents cheaper, how much more expensive is it to drive there?
Well, the reporter actually asked them, do you think people care about the barbecue? I think it was the overall cost of the barbecue they meant is 16 cents cheaper. He's like, do you think people really care about that when gas is up over $1? Let's not talk. We talk about inflation. Everybody said, don't worry about inflation. But so inflation works its way out now, but we're told people are struggling and can't make their bills and all this, and we got to give them free money. I mean, this is, it's unsustainable. These people are going to get what they want. They're getting it now. They're being able to craft all these things. It's not going to be good. Yeah, I don't understand. Like they go down there, and I don't watch a lot of the press exchange anymore because honestly, it's not as entertaining. But they showed you. I mean, they showed you. I bet you nobody but Fox News and the independent media on YouTube was talking about this exchange. They didn't put this on CNN like they were during the exchange between all those other people at the press secretary office and all this other things. We even said here on this program with one of your segments that she plans on keeping the job for a few years because she's happily lying to you and telling you that things are cheaper when everything else is expensive and people are feeling the pinch. I never, honestly, in a long time, I never looked at gas prices. Like, I just put the thing in and fill my car up because I know I can afford it. I don't care how much gas is. I need it. I'm going to fill my tank because it's the only real way I can guarantee the price that I pay for the mileage that I use is to fill it every time. But yeah, the gas is the easiest thing to point to, and then they're bragging. So the things they act as a problem, they create the problem, they oppose the solution, and then they act as saviors. 16 cents.
I also wonder if anyone did the math. There was a new world record hot dog eating that occurred today. It did cost him much less to eat all those hot dogs than it typically would have. We have some.
Vegans probably didn't even get mad at that statement. Be like, yeah, I believe in Joe Biden. Encouraging the murdering of animals.
I don't think so. That wouldn't happen. You know why that won't happen? You know why that won't happen. We haven't had Ghislaine Maxwell news in a while.
I cannot believe this woman.
Did you wait?
Yes, I seen this. Oh, I should be let out too because Bill Cosby got let out.
Okay, so this isn't even what I'm bringing up. That is hilarious. We can touch on that real quick. 'Cause not let out for any reason other than the fact there was some weird verbal agreement with the prosecutor. Something I've never seen before in my life. I honestly don't know how that even went down, but it was basically like, well, if you fess up, I'll let you out. Well, hold on, wait a minute. But Ghislaine Maxwell did not have that agreement. No, this is actually...
He made a joke. On the way out, there was a clip of him going, he made like a dance move, like old Bill Cosby, dude. The guy's joking about it.
The guy's hilarious. I mean, let's call it what it
It's
is.
hilarious. Dude,
what he did was terrible,
dude,
but he's still hilarious.
You raped and got away with it, man. That's a new level of gangster. That's a whole new level for the culture.
Headlines. Judge approves the unsealing of documents linking Ghislaine Maxwell to the Clintons.
Oh, that's weird.
Judge Loretta Priseca. She will be suicided.
She'll be.
I'm saying legitimately, mostly kidding, but somewhat serious. Remember that name because she might pop up in a headline somewhere down the road. Judge Loretta Priseca.
Her car blew up with a bunch of Joker cards.
She's gonna end up swinging from a beam somewhere.
No, she'll slip and drown, David. She doesn't normally swim, but today she was.
She's gonna die from the Delta variant of COVID with three gunshots in the back of their head. How'd she die? COVID, Delta variant.
I think she had a mask on.
Headlines. Shikari Richardson tests positive for marijuana, and her status for the Tokyo Olympics is now in doubt.
Where's all the other protests where's the kneeling from the other athletes for equality?
Well, Biden said recently that she knew the rules and she broke them, so...
Just say no.
Pretty much. That's pretty much what he went old school. The
Great Uniter. The Great Uniter.
How on earth would marijuana be a massive performance-enhancing drug, but literal biological men were competing in like women's weightlifting and stuff, and it's fine. What was the rule? You had to like take estrogen for a certain amount of time or something. Certainly not long enough to cancel out the fact that you were a man for 25 years.
You can't cancel culture biology. Trust the science. Trust scientists. Just one. Not all of them.
I don't know. I never understood how they consider this a performance enhancing drug. I get to some extent, like when they talked about Michael Phelps, if I remember correctly, the reason he did it is because it helped him eat more to fuel his regimen. Because he needed some ridiculous, what do you have, like 20,000 calories a day or something? I don't remember the exact number, but it was some ridiculous number that no normal human person eats in a day. Because the way he trained, he needed that.
Yeah, I think the real thing is, we talked a few weeks ago about how football players are idols for children. I think this whole performance-enhancing drug is like the loophole that these organizations use as probably a smokescreen for the media, and people familiar with the matter help craft the narrative for them. But I think that's more that's why they use those words and like everything else. It's kind of fucked up that Biden would just kind of brush that off like that when he knows. I mean, aren't we in Democratic ran cities? Aren't we giving the marijuana revenue to the black culture?
Some of them were if I remember correctly.
Isn't this part of her race by default?
Did we not recently have a headline about joints for jabs? People were giving out legal marijuana for vaccinations.
So, I also seen things that she's able to appeal it, so she's pretty much prolonging the thing or like the time and.
Yeah, there's an appeals process. Or she could.
What's crazy is she just set the world record, I believe, for it. So this is even.
The other thing she could do is just accept the judgment, and I think then it's just 30 days, which would allow her to compete, if I'm not mistaken, in most of the Olympics. I think she would miss out on like a couple races or whatever.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was something, a world record, and then I've also seen things that the state that she lives in is legal there.
Yeah.
So,
but it still violates the Olympic policies, which are
the Russians
international. Well, sure.
And compete.
Yeah.
It just doesn't mean anything. That's fine. We don't care. Russians go and do Olympic things.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing. But that was all I had for the old headline segment.
All right. I like it. All right. All right, first thing. Last week, I lied about my December entertainment. I did do something. It was early week. Alex Jones was on the Flagrant Idiots podcast with Andrew Schultz again. Dude, it's funny. Alex Jones is a comedian, and it's a good transition for him. But I laughed extensively. Also, December entertainment this week. Yo, I got a bone to pick with you about deodorant, bro.
Sure.
And antiperspirant.
That's right.
I put both on, some on, neither on. I still sweat and smell like shit. So why do I spend money, time, and energy and resources to even apply it?
You will always sweat.
Yeah. So what do you wear? Deodorant, antiperspirant? What do you do, Dave?
It's
Considering
antiperspirant, sort of. It's not super intense or anything. I mean, there's different people, different body types, different biologies and stuff. I don't particularly sweat all that much.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter what I wear. I sweat. Maybe I should go get a look then.
What do you wear?
I wear like Old Spice antiperspirant deodorant.
What other stuff have you tried?
I've tried wearing nothing.
Well, that's not going to do it ever.
No, honestly, it took me a while. I mean, I still sweat and smelt, but I would just shower. I mean, I had cologne. I'm not at work, and I would have like body spray for work clothes. So yeah, I mean, it is weird because everything. I mean, I've tried a lot of different things over the years. I've tried Dove. I've tried all the commercial brands. I've tried like generic stuff, and it's just like I don't know. Maybe I just bought some new stuff from Target, but it's deodorant, not antiperspirant. So I don't know. I know deodorant is just to make you smell good if you don't sweat a lot, and the antiperspirant's for when you're sweating. It stops you from sweating. But I sweat with both on, without both. So it's just like why even fucking bother?
So no matter what anything off the shelf is not going to stop you from sweating. Because
what the hell do you mean by that? I got to go online and get a measure?
Well, no, it can. Yeah, I mean, it'll have some effect. It's it's going to lessen it to an extent, but you'll never stop sweating. You don't even want to stop sweating because it's how your body cools itself down. Now, if yours is bad enough, you could probably see a doctor. I'm sure they have clinical stuff that'll whatever. But
go there and be like, yo, give me the climate change deodorant, please.
I need that hardcore stuff for when it's 1 degree warmer in the next 80 years.
Also, so my friend sent me this TikTok. I don't know what it was or whatever, but it's a guy in Canada in 2020, last year around this time, and he was just going off about. It was March of 2020. He was just going off. They're going to lock you in your house. They're going to force you to take a shot. They're going to blah blah blah. It's basically everything we've seen here. They're going to control your businesses, and now, like I've said before in this program, we get on here every week and talk about it. But at some point, I have to be a cocky prick about it. You know what I mean? Like at some point, I do have to tell you people that I am right. Dave and I are right. We know what the hell we're talking about. We may only cover headlines.
Got the same flag.
Yeah. We may only cover headlines and we may only talk and joke about the stuff, but we understand it at a level that most people do not. I know what I'm seeing. I know what I'm reading. I know what I believe. I don't plug into other apparatuses to get my information. I consume the same things you do, and we talk about it. Okay? I went back to my Instagram story, and I had multiple Instagram stories right after I put on Instagram that state of emergency, Andrew Cuomo. It was like the March 27th or 20th or whatever. And within a week, I put, at first quarantine seemed like for a crisis, and now it seems like a re-education camp. That was only 7 days later after the initial state of emergency. I already seen the government overreach. I already seen the double dip, and I already seen the moving of the goalposts. I already seen how they've taken trust the science and do it. So,
yeah, I mean, all you really got to do is pay attention and admit it.
Yeah, and watch December 1773, The Weekly Show, because we're right. We are right. We get on here every fucking week. I had Dave make the meme because he's the computer guy. Honestly, I was too lazy to do it, and I'm happy he did it. But I put on Instagram the picture of Thanos snapping his finger in Avengers Endgame when he has a empty Infinity Gauntlet. That's the only time you get a good wide shot of it. And I had Dave replace his face with COVID, the COVID molecule. And I said, when an invisible enemy snaps away your liberty, and your friends and when your friends and neighbors work for the contract police, the war for your mind has become Thanos approved. I was right. I was right. A year before. We're a year into the things that I seen. I put a meme up there about the Wuhan lab of Institute of Virology getting gain of function research with a little Kermit the Frog sipping tea a year before they talked about it. A year. A year.
So
A
what's
whole year. A whole year, people. Am I a fucking prophet? Maybe. No, I am not. But like seriously, is this the analogy in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king? Like, in theory, if you only have one eye, maybe that's all you have. But let's take it. What if you have two eyes and you only use one? So you're only half awake. You're not even fully aware. I'm only half awake to some of this stuff, and I see it when the blind don't. Hopefully, I can gain my other eye in this life and not the next one, like the Eye of Horus. But I mean, I told my friend, him and I, because he actually called me out. I don't know if he was joking. You know, my friend, him and I poke fun at each other and stuff sometimes. But like, I got a little, not that I got upset at him, but I got a little pissed because it's like I went back. I showed him things around the same time that I was talking about what was happening. I also shared another meme that talked about, I want a haircut. It was a Patrick Henry drawing. I want a haircut. And the other guy was like, he's a selfish American. A year before Nancy Pelosi went and got her haircut during a COVID lockdown without a mask on. A year before that. At some point now, you know, I know. Like the argument I got in with that guy at the bar the other night, and things were said and all this other things. I know why people get upset because they don't like the truth that we're laying, David. I think we do a pretty good job here breaking it down for the listener and watcher that this is just real layman's term stuff that we turn it into very detailed information about how important it is on your life. Remember, Dave, remember before Trump was president, we would talk politics and we're like, yeah, people just don't care. What can we do to make people wake up and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
We would have conversations with us at work in our exchanges and texting. And then Trump's president, people pay attention. It's like, oh, I almost hate this more because everybody has an opinion. But it allowed for the idea of the contest of politics and religion and everything we talk about here in the program. And then, you know, recently, the last few years, the change was government showed their hand. You know, government shows you exactly what they will do to you, given the authority, the power, and the willingness of its people. They showed you what they'll do. They'll bankrupt your entire town and then say that without them, you wouldn't be anywhere because they're giving you money to bail you out. But it's your money anyways because they work for me. Every federal agent in America works for all 50 states. The people in your state work for you. The people work in your county super work for you. The people that work in your village super duper duper work for you. You're their boss, not the other way around. I had a woman at DMV one time give me lip at the door, and I got loud as shit. You're yelling at me, and you work for me? The security guard came over, it's like, sir, calm down. I said, she's yelling at me. She works for me. You're a government employee. You want a fucking pension? You want my money for the rest of your life? We're right. I'm right. Dave's right. But yeah, man, we're right, man. The weekly show, we're right. We've shown you guys. We have consistency. We do every week with the headlines. And when I was going back on my IG story this week, it was just like, man, I smiled because I polished my ego maybe a little too much about it. But I've already told people about this stuff. I watch a chemtrail get sprayed right now over Sunset. There's actually 3 plane trails that are now bigger clouds. That's weird how that works. It's not chemtrails, it's geoengineering. Spray chemicals in the atmosphere to reflect the sun rays. That was a Bill Gates headline here on this program. I watch them do it every night. I've told people about it for years. So, yeah, fuck them, man. And then my last December entertainment, my real December entertainment is moving. Dave, how many times have you moved in your life, you think?
Oh my god, a ton. 20?
Yeah.
20?
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm like personally between me, both my parents growing up being separated parents they each lived in different houses, and me moving personally,
Yeah.
probably 30 different times.
Yeah, we come from relatively similar backgrounds.
And I've also moved professionally for years of my life for cash under the table. Fuck Cuomo. But yeah. Dude, moving is great. I came out the other night.
Terrible.
Well, my move was great, even though my house is in disarray because I haven't had time to clean because I'm a working American during a pandemic. But I will say, I was told there's nothing like your own, you know. And when I came home the other night after work, I sat on the porch and I cracked a beer. I took a sip. I looked at the night. I looked at the sky and everything. And I just thought to myself, God damn, this is peaceful. So, yeah, I just want to have a little timestamp for me that, you know, people comment below. How many times have you moved? Moving is like super stressful. I just become an asshole, you know. I moved thank God I got a family and all the people that have helped me gather furniture and stuff. It's like, I felt like a very blessed person this past week with all the help that I've received. And I couldn't have done it with all the people. And some of those people watch. So thank you all. I love you, you know. And David, I guess we're going to split here, but I want to wish America happy Independence Day. I thank the heavens that we live in a country that was crafted by masculine men that saw an opportunity in history to make the world a better place and did it. And they spoke their truth and they rang their truth. And they were the minority. And they won against the strongest military that ever existed at that time in history. A global power with global... I mean, they're still the queen now. With global power and influence. And then here we are, peasants. We're all peasants, right? We're told that corporations, but we're the wealthiest peasants in the history of peasantry. We're all kings and queens that can own arms. We can speak our truth on every form of platform in every region. We can redress government of their grievance. We can hold them accountable through elections. We can change anything we see fit because it's our right as we the people. And I thank the heavens that, you know, we live in America. It's a beautiful thing. So I wish everybody a happy Independence Day. Thank God I live in America. I hope people have good, safe fun and had safe fun by the time this drops. But yeah, man, we should all be having a conversation this weekend or whatever, getting arguments, talk history, religion, politics, develop some critical thinking out there in the world. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe. We drop every Monday, 7 Eastern is the live premiere. Yeah, follow us on Rumble, December 1773. And until next week, I'll see everybody. David, thank you, and have a good evening.
Thank you. See you, everyone.
God bless America, man.